as a distance runner, you got to think of yourself as a high-performance sports car. Obviously, there's many different parts that need to be looked after if you're going to get the results out of that sports car that you want to see. Now, I know it's a lot. A lot of you might not like looking at yourself as a sports car, but just let me continue with the analogy and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. What I'm trying to say is you've got the engine, you need responsive steering, you're going to need quality suspension, you need a rigid frame. There's a lot that goes into making sure that car races well. But for so many runners, they forget the power of this analogy and they go out and think, okay, I want to be a better runner. I guess I just run more. Sure, that's one key part of the ingredient to improving your running. However, today I want to share some simple, practical tools that are going to help you not only with your coordination, your strength, your reaction time, and your technique, but help you get out there and feel as though you're actually a runner. Some of them are in the gym, some of them are outside of the gym, but buckle up. If you can do these 5 exercises on a consistent basis, you're going to start to see some real benefits in the way that you move when you're out there running. Let's check them out. All right, number 1 is hill sprints. Now, the reason that you want to do hill sprints is because it has an incredible capacity to help build explosive power and strength in your legs, especially through the glutes, hamstrings, and calves. It is also really well regarded for its ability to improve your running economy. Now, there's a variety of ways that you can do this. Depending on exactly what you're trying to get out of it is going to dictate how it is you structure. For me, personally, I live in a relatively flat town. So here, I like to incorporate some hills into my week at least once at near maximum speed. And I do it just like this. After my Saturday afternoon run, I'll usually run around 30 to 40 minutes and finish on a really mild hill. After doing some stretches and making sure my body's ready to go, I'll do 5 to 6 times 10 to 15 seconds at pretty close to 100%. The beauty with this is it allows you to tap into your speed. It requires you to bring in your arms. It's really hard to run with poor form at the top of a hill and not trip over. So if you haven't incorporated any of this speed into your training routine, I really encourage it for not only the technical, but also for the strength elements of what it provides. Okay, and number 2 is plyometric box jumps. What the heck does this mean? Now, a plyometric box jump, simply an exercise that helps increase your neuromuscular efficiency. It helps you generate more force with each stride and also improves your ability to generate power more quickly, which naturally translates to faster, more efficient running. For me, I like to do this when I'm in the gym as a part of my strength routine 2 to 3 times a week. You want to do this before the really heavy lifting starts because you don't want to be carrying that fatigue into an exercise like this, but you also want to make sure you're quite well warmed up before you get started. So somewhere in between your warm-up and your main sets is where I like to incorporate this. Now, depending on your confidence, your ability, your power is going to dictate the height of the box that you jump on, but start on something that might feel even low for you. And as your confidence increases, the height of the box and the reps that you do can increase. To start out, you might want to do around 4 to 6 reps of around 6 to 8 jumps. Have a 90-second break in between that and do it once again. As I said, you can adjust, you can increase as you get going. So don't feel the need to rush into anything higher than what you're capable of right now. Number 3 is also focused on our time in the gym, and that is the single leg deadlifts. Now, again, this has a real focus on strengthening hamstrings, glutes, lower back, while also enhancing balance and stability. The beautiful thing about this one-legged deadlift is it does require your ability to balance out the weight. So it also taps into that ankle joint as you're trying to counterbalance where it is that those weights are going. Now, the beauty of this exercise is it also mimics the single leg stance phase in running, improving the overall form and helping with injury prevention. Now, depending on the time of the season is going to dictate the reps that you do, the weight that you do. If you're in an off season and you're really focused on building strength at this particular time of your build-up, this is a great chance to get some more weight on as long as technically you're confident, comfortable, and you've been given the okay to do so. But if you're in a taper season or even a high mileage session, you might focus on a reduction in the amount of weight that you're carrying and slightly more reps that you do in an off season. That's for you to decide. Where are you in your phase right now? What is the goal of you doing this? And with those 2 questions asked, it's going to allow you to know how to move forward. Number 4 is core planks or even core exercises in general. It can be a little bit more broad there. Now, this is something that many runners do have an appreciation for, but it's always difficult to work up the motivation for something that doesn't seem to directly correlate to running performance. How on earth is doing any core strength going to actually help us run faster in our training sessions or on race day? Well, the beautiful thing about the core planks is it does strengthen your core, which once again helps you maintain better posture and leads to more efficiency when it comes to your longer runs. It does this by enhancing your stability and preventing unnecessary side-to-side movement that wastes energy. The technical side of running is something that I'm sure regular listeners to this podcast are slightly sick of hearing me speak about, but you can't overemphasize the importance of using your energy wisely. Running is a game of who can run the fastest for the longest, and if you're throwing energy away unnecessarily, naturally your ability to perform at your highest level is going to be reduced. So if the core exercise is not a part of your routine or you're not sure how to do it, let me tell you about how I do it. Again, you've got to consider the time of the year, what it is you're aiming for. Are you in a build-up? Are you in a taper? Are you in high mileage? Are you off-season? Once you got that answered, it makes it so much easier. For me, I use the book Finish Strong, written by Angelo Gingerelli, to guide my core sessions, and it's usually a variation of between 9 and 12 minutes of core strength through a variety of exercises over the course of a gym session 3 times a week. And last but not least, perhaps you've seen athletes down at the track pre-race doing this, or you might have even seen the Ethiopians and Kenyans warming up and doing this. It's the high knee drills. The beauty with something like this is it's a technical drill which allows you to not only develop your reaction time, your cadence, your efficiency, but also your coordination. Now, we don't often think of running as a coordination-based sport, but the truth is your ability to move from one foot to the other smoothly and efficiently is pretty directly related to your coordination. If you're more coordinated, your ability to move off the ground is going to be improved. Now, obviously, another benefit of something like this when it's done well is promoting a high knee lift, which has the capacity to lead to a longer stride, but it also helps develop speed and stride efficiency with its particular focus on quick, powerful leg motions. Now, there's a variety of ways that you can focus on high knees. I like to do a little skip where you'll bring one knee up, say it's your right leg, towards your chest, and your left leg will do almost a little shuffle along the ground, and then you'll swap legs. I like to do around 3 times 10 meters of high knee lifts. It's around 5 or 6 knee lifts on each side with a walk back to where you started. And that's usually the final phase of my warm-up before I get into actually a harder training session or even a race. Now, each of these exercises obviously upgrades different parts of your body. They've all got different focuses, from strength to coordination to efficiency to stride length. Like anything, it's going to take time to improve. No one picks up a guitar and knows how to play it like Jimi Hendrix in 24 hours. The same is true for your running. If you've got any questions, concerns, or comments, as always, let me know in the comments below. If you need help with technique analysis, coaching, access to training plans, or anything else, make sure you jump across to relaxrunning.com and I'll help you out there. But in the meantime, let's continue this conversation down in the comments below.